DJ Akademiks just put the nail in Charlamagne the God's coffin after his stream last night. At least until Charlamagne the God gets back from vacation and can explain a lot of these things. But Akademiks provided a lot of receipts last night that make Charlamagne the God look crazy. I mean, it makes him look terrible, bruh. Charlamagne would have to have a pretty creative excuse and spin to really rebuttal a lot of the things that Akademiks talked about last night. Approximately 16 hours ago, DJ Akademiks posted, "Charlamagne, you broke my heart with this one. My media idol been working for my biggest ops all along." Heartbroken emoji. Then Akademiks would drop a stream link where he would dive deep into how he believed Charlamagne the God betrayed him and backdoored him and snaked him by refusing to let him in on certain information when he was prying Akademiks for certain information. That if Akademiks knew this information, he wouldn't have given Charlamagne certain information or disclosed certain things to him. Akademiks will even go further and expose and reveal more information about Charlamagne on behalf of Wack 100, and they will reveal that they have a lot more information about Charlamagne that they have not exposed yet. But those things will be coming out very shortly. This is an all-out war at this point.
Oh, so they call him Lenny.
Yeah.
Listen, I just read, bro, listen to me, bro. Lenny, my spy number one, and they know this dude very well, says, right, that Lenny intentionally blocked Wax's permits on a butcher shop, right? Him and Karen decided to fire Wax before the story broke.
This is the second time Wack 100 has spoken on Wax and Charlamagne the God's relationship. So I'm starting to think that maybe Wax is the mole. Maybe Wax is giving this information to Wack 100 to reveal. Because Wax was on Brilliant Idiots. He was on Charlamagne the God's podcast every week. We look up one day and Wax is no longer on the podcast. And we're wondering what happened. Why is this man who we've seen you with every living day of your life, who you introduced us to, why is he no longer on the podcast? Why are y'all no longer friends? They never talked about it. Charlamagne the God completely ignored whatever fan questions came in about it, completely ignored it, downplayed it, never spoke on it whatsoever. Maybe that's because if the true story came out, his own audience would turn against him. Realistically, if it came out that Charlamagne the God did something foul to Wax, who was well-beloved among that fan base, the Brilliant Idiot fans would turn on Charlamagne the God, and it wouldn't be close. Trust me, bro. They choosing Wax over Charlamagne if they found out that Charlamagne the God did Wax dirty. But for the most part, since Wax has been gone, all we've really found out is things that make Wax look bad. Stories like, oh, Wax was sending news to interns at the Brilliant Idiots, and that was something that Wax's own baby mama exposed. Or, oh, Wax put his hands on his baby mama. That's something that she exposed, right? But those things could be true, and that still couldn't be the reason why Charlamagne got fired Wax. It could still be exactly what Wack 100 is currently saying. Now, if you guys don't know who Wax is like the tall, dark-skinned dude who was on Brilliant Idiots strictly to be Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne's muse. He was on that show to be the locale. They brought Wax on strictly to laugh at him and make fun of his life. Simple.
I want to get back to your marriage. So can we talk about this on a podcast right now?
I guess so, because I guess Reddit put it out there and all this other type of stuff. Yes, the truth is I am a narcissist and I need to...
Words. Yeah. We don't care about words here. Thank you. Okay, colloquy ism. You know what we talking about. Narce.
Listen,
he's a narce. You know what the talking about. Okay.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm a narcissist, baby.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a narcissist, and I like traditional, things that I don't think that was just there, and it's all good. Like, don't make nobody a bad person.
Did the therapist say you're a narcissist?
Not really. I got diagnosed by her.
So are you in a relationship currently?
Right now, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I just think that...
I don't like this.
Me neither, dude. I hate this.
Guess what? I hate it too. I went to your wedding, bro.
You don't even know how down you've been, yo.
You think so?
Yes, man. You look depressed. You're not moving the same. People been saying that even after you're sick. Word is bone.
Wow. It's crazy.
They've been asking if he was sick?
And you shouldn't live like... Yes. Ask me if he's sick.
Why? Because of my pants? I'm just saying,
no.
I'm like, why else are they asking me?
It was moments like that where Wax was being vulnerable and open and putting his life on display that endeared him to the audience. So when he just up and left, fans were confused and Charlamagne never gave fans answers, like at all. Like the only time we even heard him maybe speak on this was probably his book, but he still never said Wax's name, still never, directly said he was talking about Wax. But the employee he alluded to, we all thought was Wax, was when Charlamagne the God stated that he was paying this person 6 figures, which we know because they talked about this on the show, how Charlamagne the God paid Wax 6 figures and he paid him enough to where Wax was starting businesses like his chicken farm and other things that he was doing on behalf of Charlamagne the God. So Charlamagne said in his book that, he was paying his employees 6 figures, but the employee got ungrateful, got lazy, got complicit, and began to think that he deserved more and he deserved to live the same lifestyle that Charlamagne the God was living.
Let's get into what Charlamagne said in his book. I had a homie who worked with me for years. They were good at their job, but I was overpaying them wildly. But I was cool with it. They were my people, had my back in situations, and I wanted them to feel secure. But even after getting extravagantly, I'm talking 6 figures overpaid for years, they still felt like they deserved more. In their mind, they couldn't just live in any old place. They couldn't drive just any old thing. They were meeting celebrities through their job, but in their mind, they deserved to become a celebrity too. And to look and eat like one too. They felt that I was somehow getting over on them. Eventually, I had to let that person go. More so than money, it was about poor judgment.
He never said Wax's name, but we could all assume he's talking about Wax. And the reason he gave for why he stopped talking or let go of one of his best friends and closest friends he grew up with and one of the fan favorites on the podcast, the reason why he let him go is because that person was making poor judgment and asking him for more money. He put it entirely on him. Now, Wack 100 is saying that he got proof that that's not the case and that Charlamagne the God actually snaked him and did some underhanded tactics to him and had to fire him before it became public. If that's true, that will be, to me, a really big blow to Charlamagne the God's reputation. Like, not with the general public. Again, Wax is cool, but like for the most part, bro, the general public don't care about Wax. They just don't. Oh, okay, they don't give a damn about Wax. I don't think like the general consensus on Twitter is, hey, Charlamagne did Wax dirty, we are up in arms. Nobody give a damn. But the audience they have built, the Brilliant Idiots fans they have built, the people who pay for, I don't know, their members only, those people I think will revolt against Charlamagne the God, which would be a really big blow to him if this thing that Wack 100 is saying is put out there and is confirmed with receipts or through Wax himself. But Wack 100 wouldn't stop there. Wack 100 will continue and says the spies gave him information in regards to Charlamagne the God potentially date raping a bunch of college women at this particular condo or behind some type of play. So now, it's unclear exactly what's going on because, quite frankly, I don't know the whole details because they're talking to Wack 100. But Wack will say this information is getting ready to come out.
They also told me that Charlamagne...
How do you know all this?
Bro, you want me to send it to you?
Yo, Wack, how do you know this? How do you know all this?
And the condo that Adam read last week that said he stayed in Fort Lee with the other going on, come to find out, is Wendy Williams' husband, ex-husband, Kev's condo. So I called a few Kev and they said, yep, Charlamagne stayed there. Kev about to put him out because there was some freaky deaky going on. And when they called down there and hollered at his father owned the club, they said that his father had caught him in the back parking lot doing some things he wasn't supposed to be doing. This is facts, bro. Buckeye in Fort Lee. Oh, Buckeye. Some chick named Buckeye he was dealing with in Kev's condo and date rape drugs, 2 college girls. I got to get the information on that.
I want to make this clear. I'm not putting those allegations on Charlamagne the God. I'm not doing it, bro. Okay, like this is all fun and games with the Roc Nation and the crypto and the Charlamagne the God being compromised. But when we're talking about actual and literal crimes, when we're talking about things that could put people in jail, I'm gonna need to actually see the proof and the receipts before I go along with it. Because Wack is saying they telling him that Charlamagne the God date raped 2 college girls and Wack is about to get more information on it. That's some serious stuff. Because I think with the old stuff and the old accusations with the Jessica Reed and the other stuff, for the most part, I think Charlamagne the God kind of navigated that pretty well because it wasn't a shocker. Like, he discussed it and he talked about it in lengths on his podcast for years. So by the time the story came out, a lot of the Brilliant Idiots audience, such as myself, we already kind of knew the entire story and Charlamagne's perspective of the story. So when Jessica Reed came out and when, you know, like when they came out with their accusations towards Charlamagne the God, where she accused Charlamagne of actually date raping her when she was like 14 or 15 years old, we kind of understood what Charlamagne's like side was. We knew that he pled guilty to something, but not that. So for the most part, that kind of got swept under the rug. This time around, Charlamagne ain't been talking about this. So if 2 additional women come forward and accuse him of date raping them, that's going to be really bad news for Charlamagne. And I think that might like result in him losing a lot of deals, him not getting that daytime slot he wants. The Breakfast Club probably telling him, hey, bro, take like a hiatus, take a couple weeks off, a month off until this is resolved, but this is bad. Now, Wack would tell Akademiks that it's up to Akademiks on when exactly he should release these bombs.
Look, you think I'm bullshit? Look, I can't, read it. I'm not making this up, bro. These is notes. You seeing this? Who wrote these notes? They're telling me this, so I'm jotting it down. Look at the date. They're telling me this, so I'm jotting it down, bro. Okay. So I'm telling you, he blocked Envy, DJ Envy's renegotiation, and Envy's gonna know this. Envy's gonna know is at any point in time when renegotiations happen, if some funny business started to happen. And Wax is gonna know if his butcher shop permits got blocked. And we got the chicks that's coming to the table that's walking around who was doing the other activity. Now, I'm sorry,
Wack, I'm just still in shock. I can't believe that my man is tied in with Roc Nation like that. It's like...
What did I tell you?
Wack, it's like, you know, I've been talking for this over a decade.
He ain't even did an interview with you in over a decade. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but I don't think I would ever, like, this almost feel like he snaked me. Like, I think he should have told me, like, yo, bro, like, I ain't down with their program, but I do work with them. How you gonna let me find out? Yo, imagine finding out your day one man, you found out that he's wrong when you get down to the county and you see his name in the paperwork, Wack. You see his name in the paperwork.
I mean,
he been telling on you for 10 years.
So is it on? Because if it's on, I'm going to notify these people to keep sending it.
Wack, man. Man, I still don't even want to make the call, man.
Charlamagne has never dealt with somebody like Wack 100. Wack lives for things like this, bruh. Yo, have you realized how the temperature have increased drastically ever since Wack 100 got introduced to this beef? Wack is rich and bored. He just got off tour, I guess, with like Blueface. Wack right now is chilling. He got all the time in the world to go ahead and dig and find information. And it's not like Wack is doing this and like, oh my God, it's like a big deal in his life. No. Wack enjoys this stuff. There's not enough stress or headache I think Charlamagne the God can give to Wack to make Wack not enjoy and love what's currently going on or stop him from investigating. Wack is obsessive. The fact that Wack is now involved, y'all have realized the temperature of this beef have went from business, leisure, to now it's like hella personal. It's like hella personal now. And that's the doing of Wack 100. Now, Wack 100 also got Akademiks to, for the most part, stop the nice stuff with like Charlamagne the God. You see how Akademiks just said, damn, Wack, bro, I can't believe it. And Wack said, see, yeah, I told you. That's because Wack 100 put Akademiks on game. Wack 100 located something that showed and proved what Charlamagne the God is in cahoots with Roc Nation, and he's embedded in the fabrics of the Roc Nation structure. And when he's coming to you asking you for information, when he's coming to you asking you to confide in him, and you're giving him information, and you're talking to him about Roc Nation, giving him proprietary information that you're going to use against Roc Nation, and you're telling him your strategy for Roc Nation and against Roc Nation, and how you're going to defeat them, and he's sitting by and he's receiving all the information you're giving him, and he's staying quiet, and he's telling you, damn, bro, that's bad, bro. I'm gonna try to do what I can do to help. But he doesn't tell you, oh, by the way, me, your OG, who you're telling like your strategy for Roc Nation and how you're about to defeat Roc Nation and what you're gonna do to defeat them. The person like you're telling me, well, I am in cahoots with Roc Nation. I work for Roc Nation as well. I'm sorry, you didn't think that would be important to tell Well, Wack 100 went and found undeniable proof that Charlamagne the God is in cahoots with Roc Nation, and he gave that information to Akademiks, and that was the first time Akademiks felt, damn, my big homie Charlamagne the God snaked me. He did me foul. Because if you were in business with them to that degree, on that level, if I'm confiding in you about Roc Nation and telling you certain things about Roc Nation, you are obligated, unless you just want to snake me, to tell me, hey, by the way, you probably shouldn't be telling me your plans for Roc Nation because I work for Roc Nation. I'm embedded into Roc Nation structure. I'm in cahoots with Roc Nation. Me and Roc Nation is doing big business. But because Wack 100 found the undeniable proof that Charlamagne the God is in cahoots with Roc Nation, and Charlamagne never told Ack when they were discussing Roc Nation, Ack now feels like Charlamagne the God snaked them.
I stop him in his tracks. I said, I know where this is coming from. It's Roc Nation. You know what he says to me on the phone? Ack, why would you think that Jay-Z would even think about you? Like, he's too high up. He don't think about you. He don't think about Drake. He's too high up in the sky. He don't care about nothing. A week later, I see Jay-Z on stage. He's rapping about everything Charlamagne told me in the comments.
Let this be a lesson to all of y'all watching. This is a byproduct of Charlamagne the God trying to be slick, thinking he's slicker than the program. If Charlamagne the God would just play the regular OG role and actually try to fix it, actually try to solve the issues with Akademiks and Roc Nation, and actually in a good faith attempt try to resolve the issues, we wouldn't be here right now. But Charlamagne the God tried to be slick. And when Akademiks kind of peeped it, because you're calling me out the blue, you're asking me about like accusations that are clearly false, but are only being heaped upon me by one group of people, which is like Roc Nation and its affiliates, and you're like talking to me and quote unquote warning me as if these allegations are true. So I kind of peep, wait, well, hold on, bro. Like, are you calling me, asking me about getting paid by politicians and the other lies that were started by Roc Nation and its associates? And then when actually, hey, bro, are you sure Roc Nation ain't saying you to talk to me? Absolutely not. Why would you think that? I just called you out the blue to talk about these things that we ain't never talked about before. Only, according to Ack, for a Roc Nation mole to confirm what Wack 100 told Ack.
Charlamagne says, Ack, if I get you on the phone with them, would you do it? I said, if you do it, of course. You're my mans. You're my media idol. He said, I'm going to call up there. He said, I'm going to bring this to the extreme top. I said, what you mean? He said, even if I got to talk to Jay, I'm pretty sure Jay don't know nothing about what's going on. But if I got to talk to Jay, I'm going to talk to Jay. First thing I'm thinking, like, damn, he could call Jay. All right, whatever, cool. I'm like, maybe I'm still like a little nuts. You know how Drake said in that song about J. Cole? He ain't called me back? Still waiting on the call back. He had said Monday. It's been like 3 Mondays after. It's okay. But anyway, as the twists and turns are happening, and now they're talking about Poly marketing, Aiden Ross, and now, I think they're kind of lessening off of the Drake stuff, but then they throw his name in there. Sometimes like, well, Drake rapped about Poly market. I'm like, A lot of this is surrounding like gambling. I thought that was hypocritical. I remember Charlamagne, who was advocating for Jay-Z to get a casino in Times Square. But the birdie, the Roc Nation Mo, who hit me, said, Ack, it gets deeper than that. This is what they said. They said, did your media idol, your buddy old pal, did your media goat, the guy you call a friend, did he tell you his full involvement with Roc Nation? I said, full involvement? Nigga ain't got no involvement. Nigga, he said he called me as my friend. He said we're friends. He said we're friends. What's that song go? Friends are forever. Like what? I'm like, we're friends. They said, Ack, you're too smart to be this dumb. I said, what do you mean? Because I don't like when people tell me things about my friend. If my friend had any association to these people, my friend, when I'm squarely telling him on the phone, I think my issue is with the biggest ops, which happens to be these people, my friend would tell me, I ain't gonna lie to you, gotta let you know, I work with your ops.
I don't even think Akademiks would have been completely opposed to Charlamagne the God after he would have told him that. Now, he probably wouldn't have told him certain things or, made him privy to certain information. But if Charlamagne would have told Ack, hey, bruh, I'm this, I work with Roc Nation, let me help, I think Ack would have been open to the help. Clearly, he would have been open to the help. Clearly. Which is why I don't understand why Charlamagne did what he did. He didn't need to. Charlamagne could have been the real OG and a real big bro to Ack. He could have really said, hey, yo, Ack, got an issue with Roc Nation and Jay? Damn, yo, they sending you copyright strikes, Ack? They effing with your channel, Ack? They trying to take your channel down, bro? They harassing you, Ack? Damn, yo, I rock with you, right? We came up together. I got you, Ack. Let me contact them, brother, right? Let me tell Roc Nation, hey, yo, Ack my mans, bro. Stop sending my dog false copyright strikes, bro. Stop sending my dog strikes, man. Stop harassing him, bro. Stop trying to silence his voice. You would think, as his OG, that's what Charlamagne God would have done. But he chose to do the exact opposite. Like, he chose to work on behalf of Roc Nation to spread narratives about Akademiks. And I'm so confused as to why you would choose to go down that route opposed to the OG route. Hey, let me tell Roc Nation, stop harassing Ack. Stop sending strikes to my man's channel. You didn't do that at all.
Ownership will be held by Sean Corey Carter along with certain affiliated entities and trusts. That's interesting. But my media goat is nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found. Maybe he's involved, but it could be a shell company. We can't go off speculation because my friend would never lie to me. Not my friend. Not my friend. Not my friend. But what does this got to do with Charlamagne? So I go down and I say, man, maybe this little birdie that's from Roc Nation who told me just like, he's just trying to gaslight me. Everybody's gaslighting Big Ack now, okay? I see what's going on. They're all gaslighting Big Ack. Then I click here, promoters, sponsors, and others, and I scroll down, promoters, sponsors, and others. SL Green, okay, who are these people? Caesars, who are these people? You'll look, some of these people are the CEO, they're the, chief financial officer. JP Morgan, Peak. So they're showing not only the companies that have significant financial interest or maybe equity or some ownership, but they show the people who are part of that organization. I scroll down a little bit more and under Roc Nation, it reads these names. Sean Carter, Desiree Perez, Jana Fleshman, Angela Rye, Alicia Keys, and that's not my mother media goat, Leonard McKelvey, a.k.a. Charlamagne, not under the Roc Nation banner. No! No! We got him, y'all. We got him. We got him, y'all. We got him, y'all. Chat, I refreshed this page 40 times. I couldn't believe it. No!
There's some people who will say, hey, it's not a big deal. What? Like, he's working with Roc Nation on deals. Okay. And he might have an office at Roc Nation. Okay. And now, it's not a big deal if Roc Nation ain't your enemy, right? It's not a big deal if Roc Nation is not trying to get your channel taken down. It's not a big deal if Roc Nation isn't trying to destroy and ruin your life. But if you're my homie and you're calling me and I'm telling you, hey, man, Roc Nation is trying to ruin my life, you don't think it's important to tell me you're working with Roc Nation? But this also explains why Charlamagne the God currently has an inability to criticize and call out anything Roc Nation and Jay-Z. It doesn't matter what it is, bruh. Jay-Z can go ahead and steal, I don't know, bruh, like can steal food from an orphanage, and Charlamagne the God will still defend it and say, well, Jay-Z needed the food too. What do you, right? Like, this here explains, one, why Charlamagne the God has never criticized Roc Nation and Jay-Z in his life. I've never seen it. I've never heard it. It's always been nonsense. Why Charlamagne the God is actively lying about how Jay-Z did not fire him after years of telling us Jay-Z did fire him from his radio show in Philadelphia. This explains everything, and it puts it into perspective for Ak. If this man Jay-Z is trying to destroy me, and my homie Charlamagne the God is his close friend, but he doesn't tell me how much he do business with the person trying to destroy me, then I can't trust him. And Ak has now realized that he can't trust Charlamagne the God at all. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why I think this video right here kind of proves that Corey Holcomb might be gay. I'm gonna see you guys in this Corey Holcomb video. Click the hype button and send me a hype. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.